Hello everyone, this is Samiran Mehti, Senior Lecturer in Computer Engineering Department from Praveen Patel Polytechnic. I hope you guys know we have started with Chapter 3 and I hope you guys remember this Chapter 3 will comprise of 3 videos. I have already uploaded Chapter 3 Part 1, this is Chapter 3 Part 2 and the topic for today is Open Shortest Path First. Now, firstly, OSPF is an intra-domain routing protocol. Now, what do you mean by intra-domain routing protocol? When communication is taking place among a single autonomous system or within a single autonomous system, then it is known as intra-domain routing protocol. OSPF divides an autonomous system into areas, which is a collection of network, host, and routers. So, if you could see, OSPF, this is a single autonomous system, and OSPF has divided it further into different areas. So, for example, area 1, area 0, and area 2. And among these areas, it has to be one of them has to be a backbone area, which is area 0 over here, and there are different types of routers working over here. For example, router 3 is working as area border router, which initiates communication between area 1 and area 0. Similarly, router 4 is again an area border router, which initiates communication between area 0 and area 2. And router 2 is area special border router, which connects internet to backbone area and indirectly to all the areas. I hope the point is clear. Regarding features of OSPF, the first feature is type of service routing. Now, what type of service routing they are trying to convey? A router has different roles to implement. For example, if you could see over here, area 1 and area 0 communication is being managed by area border router 3. Similarly, router 2 is working as area special border router, and so on. So there are different types of services provided by different types of routers. Load balancing is also a feature of OSPF because each area is given a particular task, so in this way load is appropriately balanced. Security is also one of the features because every router is being assigned a particular secured area. It works as host as well, and subdivision of autonomous systems are being managed by dividing it into areas. And OSPF is an open specification in the sense it is not owned by any entity, it is free to use for regular users. Regarding types of links in OSPF, a connection is called a link. The first type of link in OSPF is point to point, where connection is between only two routers. There are no intermediate host or routers in between. So if you could see the diagram, X router is connected to Y and there are no intermediate host or routers. This is point to point link. Regarding transient link, it is a network with several routers attached to it. So if you could see in the diagram, A, B, C, D, E, there are several routers and they are connected to each other. Regarding stub link, in stub link, there is only one router. If you could see, there is only one router A, and if data packets has to be passed, so that router has to be used. Regarding virtual link, when the link between two routers is broken, the administrator may create virtual link between them using longer paths. Now to understand this, for example, there are two paths for a packet to go. Path 1 consists of maybe 30 kilometers and path 2 consists of maybe 40 kilometers. So OSPF is designed in such a way that it will naturally select path 1, open shortest path first. So path 1 being shortest among the two, it will naturally select that path, but maybe due to some dynamic situation that path is broken. Now virtual link has to be created and now part 2 will be used even if it is longer. So that is what virtual link is all about. Regarding OSPF of packet format, you are supposed to draw this diagram and the explanation for the same is over here. Now version, I hope everyone knows what is version. In case of OSPF version 1, it will be using 1. In case of OSPF version 2, it will be using 2. Type, this field indicates message as one of the following types. Now for example, if two routers wants to communicate initially, so it will send hello message, and once the communication or the initiation of connection has been done among the two routers, then database description message has to be sent. Now what is database description message? For smooth communication among the two routers, all the data that is being there in the routers, that has to be synchronized, and that is done by database description message. I hope the point is clear. For smooth communication, database information among two routers has to be synchronized, and for that database description message is used. Link status and link status updated are used to complete database synchronization among the two routers. And finally, once the completion of synchronization of database has been done, then finally link status acknowledgement message will be provided to make sure or to confirm that indeed synchronization of databases has been done or completed. Regarding packet length, this field specifies the length of OSPF packet in bytes, and it also includes the OSPF header. Router ID and area ID, I hope you guys know router ID and area ID. For example, this is router 1, this is router 3, router 4, router 2, these are router IDs. And regarding area IDs, area 0, area 1, area 2, and so on, these are area IDs. I hope the point is clear. Regarding checksum, as the name implies, it is used to detect errors in the packet. The checksum is performed on the entire packet, and authentication type, it identifies the authentication type. Now there are three principal types of authentication as far as OSPF is concerned. Type 1 is null authentication, in the sense there won't be any authentication mechanism. Type 2 is text authentication, where passwords could be used as authentication mechanism. And type 3 is cryptographic authentication mechanism or encrypted authentication mechanism, where mostly algorithms like MD5, that is message digest version 5, is used. So authentication type will specify any of the three types of authentication mechanism. And the last row, that is authentication, this field includes a value for the authentication type. Now value could be, if in case null authentication used, type 1, so 1 will be the value. If text authentication authentication type is used, then 2 will be the value. And finally, if cryptographic authentication is used, then type 3, where 3 is the value, will be used. I hope the point is clear. So that was it regarding OSPF. Now we'll focus on border gateway protocol. Border gateway protocol is an interior inter-domain routing protocol. Now communication will take place among two different autonomous systems. This was inter-domain routing protocol is all about. It is unicast routing protocol, in the sense one-to-one communication will take place. It is used to exchange network reachability information among BGP routers, in the sense BGP routers have to advertise network reachability information, whether reachable or not, whether a particular network is reachable or not. That type of message has to be regularly advertised by BGP or BGP routers. Now types of AS. Now there are three types of autonomous systems in BGP. So stub autonomous system. A stub autonomous system has only one connection to another autonomous system. Data traffic cannot pass through a stub autonomous system. A stub autonomous system is either a source or a sink. Now what they are trying to convey. For example, if Dahisar is one autonomous system and Bhinder is another autonomous system. So when Dahisar is sending data, so it will act as a source, and when Bhinder is receiving a data, it will act as a sink. Now what do you mean by data traffic cannot pass through a stub? For example, if Dahisar wants to send the information to Bhinder autonomous system via Mira road, then this facility is not being provided by stub autonomous system. They have to manage themselves. Regarding multi-homed autonomous system, it has more than one communication to other autonomous system. In stub autonomous system, there was only one connection to another autonomous system, but in multi-home, it has more than one connection to another autonomous system, but it is still only a source or sink for data traffic. Again, there is no transient traffic, in the sense Dahisar cannot use Mira road autonomous system to send data to Bhinder autonomous system. But this disadvantage is being managed by transit autonomous system. It is a multi-homed autonomous system that allows transient traffic. In the sense, now the Isar autonomous system could send a packet to Bhainder autonomous system via Mira Road. This facility was not given by Stub autonomous system and multi-homed autonomous system. Coming to types of message format, first type of message is open, used to create an neighbored relation. Initially, neighbored relation has to be managed among routers to initiate the communication, so that is done with the help of open message. Update message is used in the sense, for example, a particular path was to be used for communication among routers, but that path has some problem. Now some other path has to be updated for the new destination. I hope the point is clear. Keep alive messages is used, exchange regularly to tell other routers whether they are alive or not. In the sense, BGP routers advertise themselves to make sure or to give a message that they are indeed alive. And finally, notification is sent by routers whenever an error condition is detected or a router wants to close the connection. I hope the point is clear. Regarding BGP packet format, now in the diagram, if you would see, in the marker 16 is given, but it has to be 4 bytes. So apologies for the mistake. In place of marker 16 is given, but it has to be 4 bytes, and 4 byte becomes 32-bit field. It contains an authentication value that the message receiver can predict. In the sense, for example, if I as a sender wants to send the packet to the receiver, for example, if I am using 123 as password, so this password will be contained in marker, and this 123 has to be predicted by receiver to access this packet. I hope the point is clear. Regarding length, it is of 2 bytes, in the sense 16-bit field, which indicates the total length of message in bytes. And regarding type, it is an 8-bit field which specifies the message type as one of the following. We have already discussed what is open, what is update, and what is keep alive, and what is notification. And regarding data, the last part of BGP packet format, the size could be variable for the same. So this was it regarding chapter 3 part 2. In case of doubts, you could post a comment and we could surely solve those doubts in live session. And I'll soon upload chapter 3 part 3, which will be the last part of chapter 3. Thank you for watching the video. Take care. Bye.